We're live. Dude, you guys, this is awesome. Everybody that's been waiting so patiently in the chat, we thank you so much. We've seen people say so many amazing things. You guys don't understand. The Ash and Gabe have been sitting here reading your comments, and they're like, this is amazing. This is great. This is all happening live. We're here right now. We're at the Ubisoft HQ. Ash, what's up? How are you guys? AC4, it's on the rise.
It's coming. I mean, it's next week. It's super thrilling time. You know, we've been working on this for a while, so to finally have it out, you know, to finally have people play it. You know, as a game dev, you know, when we work on these games, it's a point of passion. You know, we put effort into this because we want people to love these things.
Right.
And so it's super thrilling time. It's exciting. I love being able to see what people are saying.
Right. For people who don't know, we have the chat in front of us. So this is your rare chance to talk to these two amazing people who've been working on this game. How long have you been working on this game?
So it's been 2.5 years.
2.5 years.
Yeah.
Blood, sweat, and tears, and having to hold back.
Yeah.
Hold back and not let anybody know until now. You can start talking about it, right? It feels good.
That's the thing. It's wonderful now, and I mean, you know, we've done a lot of trailers, so we've shown off a lot of stuff. But I always tell people, you know, this game is massive. There's a lot of content in it. I'd say of everything we've shown, there's maybe only about 30% of the locations that we've actually shown. There's a whole bunch of other stuff people haven't seen. It's a really huge game, and it's really exciting to be able to show it off here live in front of everyone. And you know, next week people can actually play it. And I know I'm gonna be reading what people are saying.
You're gonna be reading what people are saying.
Yeah.
And for anybody who has a question,
Thank you, Brian.
we ask. See, he's already reading what you guys are saying. All we ask is that you put in caps question and then your question behind it.
Yeah.
And that way we can kind of decipher, you know, awesome comments and all this other crazy stuff that the chat will be feeding to us. So waving at people.
Hi.
So I know we already have some gameplay B-roll, which we can go into real quick right here while we're talking about where we've come from the previous Assassin's Creeds to now 4. Many years ago it started. And so the evolution, just tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, you know, when we started, we had a couple objectives in mind. You know, we felt that there's this opening to make the definitive pirate experience in video games. There's not many pirate games out there, and the really amazing ones are quite old now. You know, Sid Meier's or Monkey Island.
Monkey Island, yeah, I was about to talk about that.
So those are some amazing games, but it's been a while. And at this stage of the industry, you know, when we're talking about blockbuster games, if you want to make a pirate experience, like you have naval, you have cities, you have natural environments like jungles and caves. To do all of that justice, you know, it's a huge feat. And we have such a solid foundation on Assassin's Creed with knowing how to build cities, and with AC3 pushing the, you know, navigating in natural environments and the naval. We felt that there was time to do a pirate game within the AC universe. And then we knew we were shipping on next gen as well. So we wanted to make a world unlike anything anybody has played in and experienced, and we wanted that experience to be, you know, something that's engrossing and something that completely sucks you in. And so we decided to go for the Caribbean to create this huge sandbox naval world, and that's where we got started. And from day one, we started pushing for this experience, and we never looked back. And I think, you know, we see it now, and it's a really thrilling time.
Great. And a lot of people keep asking that same question, like, why did you choose a pirate theme? So Ash just went into that for a little bit, and we're gonna look over here and be like, wow. So I have a question. While we're getting warmed up, people are coming into here, and we do have exclusive gameplay footage to show you guys. Right now we're just showing some B-roll and hanging out with Ash and Gabe for a bit. How many people do you think are gonna start speaking like a pirate when they pick this game up?
I think international Speak Like a Pirate days already passed.
Oh, no, but it doesn't. When you buy the game already, I think as you're playing it, you're talking to your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, you're like, "Arr, honey, pick up the controller."
I think people will be surprised at the lack of pirate speak because it didn't actually exist. You know, that was something we went for. We wanted to have something that was more authentic and more credible to the real history of pirates, and so we removed a lot of the cliches that we felt just, you know, don't belong in a credible experience. So, you know, there's no walking the plank, there's no talking parrots.
Huh?
Yeah, seriously.
What? You mean, wait, so you got, okay, and then we'll go into so the Assassin's Creed franchise are so well known for having, like, historical accuracy, right?
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me you guys did research on pirates and you discovered no talking parrots?
I did. I hate to break your heart. I can see it in your eyes. But no, they didn't have talking parrots.
How fascinating.
No, we actually had a lot of historians come in that worked on the project. Mike Loads was featured recently on a video, who's a weapons expert, and no, so we had a lot of really looking at piracy, the Caribbean, the West Indies, the wars during that time. Why were they interested in the Caribbean so much, or the West Indies, I should say? And we did want something that was much more credible because we felt that, pirates have been very romanticized.
Right. Yes, they certainly have.
And we really feel that there is this coming wave of piracy and the authentic version of pirates, because they did some amazing stuff in their time. Blackbeard was an amazing person, a really smart guy, and to be able to tell his story, the more accurate version of it was something we wanted to go for, and I think people are gonna love it. So yeah, it's been a really exciting time, and I mean we never really looked back when we decided to do pirates. We just went for it.
You went for it. Well,
yeah.
And you guys certainly did go for it. You went all out. It's a gorgeous game. It's incredible. And for anybody in here who is being so awesome and asking these great questions, we are sitting in front of a chat right now.
Yeah.
And whenever Ash can decipher some of these questions,
it's
figure out one. Let's see what's going on.
Fast.
Yeah.
Is this a question? Yes. Next one. Why did we decide to go back in time from AC3? There's never been a predefined rule that we always move closer to our timeline. It just happened to be that way when we told, it was the Crusades, then the Renaissance Italy, and then telling Ezio's trilogy, so naturally it just came closer and closer. And then the Revolution, of course. We have the Animus. It's effectively a time traveling machine. We can go wherever we want. We can go way back in history. There's nothing that stops us. And I think we should, actually, because there's a lot of really interesting time periods, really interesting history that I think we can have a lot of fun with, and help inspire us to have really amazing mechanics and systems to play with. So there was no predefined rule to say we don't go back in time. We wanted to tell the story of Edward, the grandfather of Connor, and so we just went with it. And we were actually surprised that people, that this even came up as why did you go back in time. We were actually surprised by that. We didn't expect people to even think about that. All right, where are we going?
Yeah, let's see if there's any other questions that. Uh-oh, here we go.
What do you got? Okay, sorry.
They're going way back in time.
It's going fast. Who's outside the Animus? Okay, so outside the Animus, you're in Abstergo Entertainment. So the idea is that you're a research analyst using the Animus to research the life of Edward Kenway. You're not really sure why. You're told it's for entertainment purposes, but as the story progresses, you start realizing that there's nefarious reasons behind everything, and Edward did something really important in his life that the Templars of the present day want more info on. And it's something very big. So of course, if they want it, the assassins also want it. And so at some point, it's like Edward. It's actually, the present day character is a reflection of Edward, where Edward, he starts as a pirate, he knows nothing about assassins and Templars, and then he gets pulled into the feud. And the player in the present day, it's the same concept. You get sucked into this, like, who are these Abstergo people? And so outside the environment, it's really, you're working with coworkers, and at some point you start realizing that these bosses and some of your managers, they have ties in with Templars, but you don't really know what's going on, and then it opens up at some point when you really explore the world and you start really figuring out where you are. On the development side of things, I mean, we had a lot of fun with it. We were making fun of Ubisoft.
Hey, look at that.
We were making fun of ourselves, we were making fun of game development, and I don't mean it to be like in a comedic way. We just, people will see that the setting of where Abstergo Entertainment is, it's in Montreal, so where the lead studio of AC is based in.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, we had fun with
it. Almost self-awareness there.
Yeah, we had a lot
that's
of fun
great. That's great. So let's see if there's any more questions. Oh, question, Dogface. There you go. That's an important question. That was your one time to talk to the game director and Gabe over here, and that was the first thing.
Question.
Okay, you got one.
What makes Black Flag fantastic? You know what? We have a lot of really cool stuff. Edward is awesome. The story's really great. It's wonderful. But personally, my favorite thing is the world itself, how it's structured. We have the major cities. We have huge environments. But I actually love that you're in this naval world, which is kind of a hub of sorts. And then you go to an island, you explore the island, you spend an hour looking around this place where there's a jungle or a cave or a plantation. You do a bunch of stuff, you can leave whenever you want, but when you leave, it's like you hit this mental reset button and you're excited to find the new location, the next thing. And I find it's a really awesome way to take the content in from an open world.
The narrative, right, yeah.
And to just, as a player, to enjoy an open world, you constantly are excited for the next thing, and it's because there's defined areas. And so for me, the world itself is, I think, one of the most beautiful. Thank you, tell us girl.
Now one question I saw is, why are you so awesome? How about
Why-
that
why
one?
am I
You
so
you can
awesome?
go into
I think-
in depth with that one as well. You have answers for a lot of these
I mean,
questions.
do we have a few hours?
We have a
or-
few hours. Wow, 24-hour
Yeah.
stream right here.
I don't want
24-hour
people-
stream. That's what's gonna happen. Why are you so awesome, stream? And since we're, there's been a couple questions about the naval fleet and all this other stuff.
Malfian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about that. I mean, that's obviously what's on the screen right now.
Yeah, the storm,
Yeah.
what's going on? Yeah, so we have, when we decided to make the Caribbean, we went all the way. We decided we're gonna have a dynamic weather system. Of course, we have a full day-night cycle. All of this is dynamic. It was really important for us that we have rain, but we also have torrential downpours, and we even have hurricanes, because this is part of the time, and honestly, it makes for really fun gameplay. One of the key things I want to tell people about this game is that the word "fun" was posted everywhere in our work areas. These are video games. We do tell history, but it's historical fiction, and the game mechanics are there to cater to fun. We are not making realism. We're making credible worlds that are fun. We're not telling the real, what this island really was like, or what, the real history of things. We're telling fictional history, and these are video games. They need to be fun.
Right.
So that's, I think, a really important detail that people need to know.
So if you made a real version of that island, not so much fun. Just maybe you show up and nothing happens, and there's no.
Not only that, but even simple things like, we put a lot of effort to have really awesome navigation paths. So, for example, on this island that we're on now, it's called Misteriosa. There's this temple up at the top, and there's actually many different ways of getting up there using Edward's navigation skills. If we were to base it off of real temples and real navigation, I mean, you won't have these really cool paths. So, again, it's about fun, it's about credibility, not realism. I saw a question, will we have ambient music? Most definitely. We have tons of music. We put a lot of effort into the score. Brian Tyler was the composer. He did an amazing job. The soundtrack, it's really wonderful. There's hours and hours of music. And then on top of that, we have sea shanties. And we have over 40 of those. And these are real songs from the West Indies of that time. These are things that sailors actually sang. And we had an amazing group of guys that they put it together for us, and they did a fantastic job. So music is huge in this game.
Incredible.
What other real life people does
yeah.
Edward meet? So obviously we have Blackbeard, we have Benjamin Hornigold, Charles Vane, Calico Jack, Anne Bonny. We have a few surprises that I'd rather not mention because they're real historic figures. I'll give a clue about one of them. So Blackbeard is probably the most famous pirate, but he wasn't the most successful pirate. So in the game, really important character in the story. I won't say his name, but for those sleuths out there that know stuff about piracy, he was the most successful pirate in history. He plays a really important role in this game, so he's in this game.
Johnny Depp. He meets Johnny Depp. That's it.
Actually, little known fact, Johnny Depp based his character. So he based his character off many things.
Right.
The mannerisms from,
The guy from the Rolling Stones.
the guy from Rolling Stones. But the historical character they referred to is actually Calico Jack. Calico Jack was a drunkard, womanizer, and so he's in the game, and that was actually who Johnny Depp based his character off.
Look at that. We're learning so much. You must have learned so much about pirates and everything. And for anybody who's just joining us and getting warmed up, what you're seeing right now is B-roll, and we're going to get into the live gameplay real soon. And if you're joining us again, if you want to ask a question live with Ash and Gabe sitting here, all you have to do is ask question in front of your question, and we'll try our best to get to it. And we're giving away prizes randomly. So for people that are in this chat, keep talking, keep asking those great questions, because the amazing people here at Ubisoft are going to find you and give you something awesome that they'll sign.
Yeah.
Right? I think you're not charging for the signature, right? Signature's free?
No, not for the fans.
Okay.
Come on. I love our fans. I think we have some amazing fans. Honestly, as a developer, when we make games, it's you don't work in games for money or for a job. You work in games because you have a passion and you dedicate yourself to these things, and it's for the fans, and you want people to love your game, and I love seeing the reactions from people. I love some of these comments. I talk to people on Twitter all the time, and honestly, it's my pleasure to be able to chat with the fans and to sign whatever we have to give away, and yeah.
Sure. There was a real meta question. I want this game. Question that I want.
There's a depth in that.
There's a real depth to that one right there. So here, you can see the flood of questions that are happening right now. We'll do our best.
I think I saw something about sea monsters. Are there sea monsters? So again, we're making a credible experience. I will say, without ruining too much, we have Easter eggs. There's tons of Easter eggs in this game. We have a lot of fun with it. That's all I want to say about sea monsters. How about that?
So, this is it. I think it's time that we start showing this live gameplay.
Why not? Let's do it.
Off of a PS4.
Off of a PS4. There we
off
go.
of a PS4.
There it is. Look. That's the final
controller. There it is.
controller.
You can see it. It's glowing.
It's the final controller. There we go.
This is really exciting for everybody. Yeah. Over 9,000. So let's get to this. So what are we looking at now? I know that we were looking at some other B-roll happening.
Yeah. So right now we're just out in the ocean. We're outside of the missions. Our crew is merry. They're happy. You can hear them singing right now. And Gabe is gonna show us a bit of underwater.
Oh yes, awesome.
Yeah. So here we go. When you purchase the diving bell, this is when you can gain access to the underwater sequences. You can actually get the diving bell anytime you want. So it's really more depends on how fast do you want to get into these areas. But once you have it, you can access these zones. There's a lot of treasure to find, a lot of collectibles to find in underwater. So Gabe here is going to show his skills. One question, I actually saw one question about, his, he has a huge amount of health, or a huge amount of breath capacity, Edward. Yes, that's actually, we testing, and one thing we found is when he had less health and there was a lot of pressure on him, it made the whole thing less fun. It was constantly, you're always going back to the diving bell. So we decided to give him quite a big lung capacity. He's been doing this for years. So he's developed a healthy few minutes of being able to swim underwater. See that ingredient up there? This is an air barrel. So this is a place that you can go to get some air. It also protects you from certain predators for a moment, so you kind of get kicked out of it. Anyway, so the idea is you try to look for these treasures, and as you're doing this, you want to use the ingredients of the world properly. You want to use, when you see a post, you can use it to boost your speed and all that kind of thing. I'm looking at these questions.
Yeah, we're looking at the questions.
How did Edward come into the story? I'm assuming that's a meta question.
It has to be one. There's a lot of meta questions, like question, one of those.
Edward, we've had him in the brand for quite some time. The definition of this British man who was poor, who became a pirate, and who happens to be the grandfather of Connor. This was actually a defined concept for quite some time. And we thought, this is the perfect character to tell a story about, because his background was interesting enough. Just saying that he's a poor British man who becomes a pirate, and his son is, a major hero in the franchise. So it was really simple. I mean, day one, it was, okay, we're doing a story with Edward and pirates, go.
Great.
Yeah.
And while we're warming up in the beginning of the show, I saw people saying, I want to fight a shark.
You can attack sharks, you can fight sharks. There's two different ways. There's in the underwater, there are predator sharks, of course. There are other predators as well. What's Gabe doing here? So,
he's enjoying the coral life. That's what he's doing. He's really
Gabe
kicking
is
back.
exploring coral life.
Life.
And then in the harpooning, of course, there's actually many different types of sharks to hunt in the harpooning system, which you use to upgrade Edward himself. I need this game now. I don't think that's a question.
That shouldn't
if you
be.
put a question mark, maybe, but it's. I like the exclamation though. I do like that.
They're going by fast right now.
This is going by real fast.
This is going by real fast.
There is Fish AI for that one question. What's next in the franchise? Hey, we're here to talk about AC4. Come on, play AC4 first.
AC4 first.
Before
Come on,
people
guys.
ask me about AC5, play AC4 first. How about that? Yeah, that's wonderful. Here we go. Here. Can you get a monkey as a pet? No, you can't get a monkey as a pet. Monkeys are there. I'm sorry for you monkey lovers out there. You might have to kill one or two or a few of them
no!
Well, I mean, it's only
no.
humane to kill them to get their skin, because you need the pelt.
The thing is, back then it wasn't like bad. It was just a thing that you did.
It was just thinking. You know what? Honestly, everything we have in this game, from the hunting to the harpooning, because we get a lot of questions about the harpooning. It was all historic. I mean, pirates, they were these poor sailors. They were in a war. All of a sudden, the war ends. Their countries, if they go back to their countries, they don't have jobs. And so they're very poor sailors. And all of a sudden, there's all these riches in the Caribbean that are being taken by the monarchs of Europe. And so they did anything and everything to try to make a bit of money. So it included hunting, it included harpooning. Finding a whale as a pirate, you were able to make a lot of money from that.
Okay.
So this was all historic stuff. It allowed us to make really fun gameplay, which is wonderful. But it's actual stuff. Yes, you can ask a question.
Yeah, that's a great question.
That's an answer to a question.
Yeah. And this game is big, right? This is the biggest AC game, right?
It's a massive game.
It's a massive game, right?
I get asked a lot about, what is the size? I think it's a bit unfair because we have a lot of ocean. It is actually the biggest world physically, but there's ocean. I'd rather say that, we have tons of locations. We have 3 major cities. You have, in the present day, a mini open world that's fully explorable. It is definitely the biggest AC game we've made. What's the cool thing about it, though, is it's not just big. It's actually got tons of diversity, a lot of stuff to do and find.
How hard is that to do, to make an engaging environment like that?
It takes an insane amount of effort. We have a massive team of people that have been building Assassin's Creed for a long time. We actually went to the Caribbean. Game development is a very difficult, difficult industry. So we had our art director, level design director, and audio director head to the Caribbean for a good 3 weeks, and to spend a lot of time there, capturing images, capturing audio. A lot of the audio from the game comes directly from the Caribbean. Seriously, the ocean, the animal noises, the jungles. And so, there's a lot of effort put in. And then, of course, after we capture the stuff that inspires us, we have a team of amazing level designers that dedicated themselves to making amazing environments that are really fun to explore.
People are asking questions about weapons.
Okay, I'll get back to the first Civ question about weapons. What about weapons? Do you have a lot of them? We have plenty of weapons.
Plenty of weapons. Like one sword,
I can't believe we mentioned, in the 101 trailer, we mentioned the pistol blade, the pistol sword. That was kind of a surprise. That was supposed to be a surprise, but yes, there's a reward in the game, the pistol sword. You have to complete some objectives, and you gain this really awesome sword that has an extra function. For the ship, there are 7 weapons that are fully upgradable and have many upgrades for all of that. So we put a lot of effort into the progression of the ship itself, and we actually have a lot of challenge in the naval part for the people who love that kind of stuff. Here, Gabe's decided to fight a fort.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Here we go. So Gabe's showing off one of the new weapons, which is the mortar. It's really good against a fort because with the mortar you have to lead the shot. You have to give time for the weapon to actually fly over there, or the ammunition, I should say. So it's very good to use against a fort. This is kind of an easier fort. So Gabe, don't screw up. So this is kind of an easier fort. Now by destroying a fort, you're actually unlocking the map for the area, and the fort becomes yours as well. So when you have enemies, you can actually lead them into your own fort, and the fort's gonna rock them for you. So that's an extra feature. You also unlock side missions. You unlock a bunch of collectibles that you can only find in this one area.
Somebody was asking a question about your crew. How does that work, and how many can you have?
So the crew is something that you can upgrade, the number of crew that you can have. You start with 30, and then you can upgrade to 50 or 60. I think we might have changed it in the end. But so you can actually upgrade the number of crew. The value that brings is when you upgrade when you board bigger and bigger ships, your crew takes it's a huge toll on your crew. So if you haven't upgraded the crew, taking on a man of war is virtually impossible. So you do need to upgrade the crew. Actually, I want to get back to the first Civ question, because I get that question quite a bit. This is an Assassin's Creed game with all the lore of Assassin's Creed. There is huge progression in the meta story of AC, and AC4 really pushes it along. It picks up from where AC3 ended, and we progress the story along the narrative. So yes, there is first Civ stuff, most definitely. Again, I don't want to ruin any surprises, but there are cameos from characters from previous games. There are the first stuff really definitely moves forward. So yes, there is a bunch of that. Can you guys make a movie about Assassin's Creed? I believe one is in the works. Yes. just look that up. You don't need me to tell you that. Can you leave the ship during combat? No, actually, we actually wanted you to take care of the ship because we felt that you're the captain of a ship. You need to be in the combat. If you're in the heat of battle, you can't let go of the wheel. And when we actually had it working that you can, and it was just chaotic and not really fun, to be honest. Because when you have your ship being attacked and you're not near the wheel, you have no way of managing that. So it wasn't fun at all. And narratively speaking, you shouldn't leave the wheel. You're the captain of your ship. You need to take care of it. And I think your crew might mutiny if you left the wheel. So. Can we
Don't leave the wheel during battle. Yeah.
Yeah, can we repair while in battle? There is a way to do it, yes. The way to do it actually is by boarding a ship in the middle of battle. So you can board a ship in the middle of battle, and then if you plunder the ship successfully, one of the options that you have is you can repair the jackdaw. So it's actually one of the ways to take on really hard setups of ships. It's actually to use the smaller ships to repair yourself in the middle of the action.
Gabe, did you rock it?
I did.
You did.
Yeah.
You owned it.
Yeah.
That must have felt good.
It does.
I was worried there for a second.
I'm not done yet, though.
You're not. Oh, okay.
I'm not done. I still have to take the fort.
So the forts. This is where we mix the naval and the land stuff. So you have to take down the fort towers in the naval with your ship, and then you have to raid the fort itself. So you have to go in, take out the commander, you change the flag, and then it becomes yours. So he still has a bit of chunk of work to do.
We're here for you. We're rooting for you. We know you can do it.
Can I have a single sword and a pistol? Actually, so Edward carries dual cutlasses, but you can pick up weapons off the ground. So the enemies that have a single sword, if you were to kill them, or if you were to disarm them and take their sword, Edward will only have that one sword, and yes, you can pull out your gun if you have it as in your tool set. So yes, you can sort of have that going for you if you like.
Awesome.
There's a lot of with the pickup weapons. There's a lot of really neat stuff that you can do.
And speaking
so
of
please
neat
explore and
stuff,
have fun with that.
we have neat stuff. We have a swag cam. Let me show that real quick of a live unboxing that we'll be doing of the collector's edition right there. So stick around.
That's a lot of really cool stuff.
That's a lot of cool swag. That's stuff that we're going to be giving out throughout the show. The beautiful people here at Ubisoft will find the guys that are asking great questions and reach out to you and get your information and send you that stuff.
Yeah, so I just saw a question. Do we get to see more of Edward's wife? That's a really
deep question, man. That's real.
Yeah, so everything to do with Edward's wife. Yes, I won't ruin what that's all about, but it's actually a really integral aspect of who Edward is, how he ends up in the West Indies, and how he decides to move forward in his life. We don't, it's part of the story element that we haven't really talked about too much up to this point, but she plays a very important role in his life. Yes.
How much fun was this creating this whole world? Was it all up in your mind and other people? Did you guys sit around and this is what's gonna affect this and this is gonna cause this because this is amazing. It's like this one big circle of connection.
We have a team of really talented, passionate people. Yes, I'm the game director, but this game was put together by a team of really passionate people that love the brand and that love the concept of piracy, and we had a lot of fun with it. And from the beginning, we were very humble with ourselves. We knew that there were areas that we needed to push. We knew we needed to create a world unlike anything we've done before. But even having said that, we don't take even building cities for granted. We put a lot of effort into our cities to make the free running really fun and to make it really exciting. And it's been an absolute pleasure making this game. I love the brand. I'm a huge fan of the brand. AC1 for me was the first real next-gen game of its time. I remember when I saw AC1, I was, my jaw hit the floor.
I was floored as well.
It was what HD meant. For me, when I saw that, I was like, wow. And even the way you touched the world, the interaction you had with it was unlike anything I've seen before. and to be a part of that has been an absolute pleasure, and the team has been fantastic, and that's why, you know, this has been thrilling to. Nice job, Gabe. Vicious. Gabe is not
he
a
just
nice
ran
man.
up there and shot
You know
that
what?
poor guy.
Don't let this demeanor, don't let that smile fool you. He is not a nice person. He is a vicious man.
Hey, you're just the pirate doing what pirates do best. But that was ruthless, man.
He's fine.
He's fine. He's just sleeping.
He's okay.
He's all right.
It's just a little scratch.
Hey, look,
He's helping him shave. That's all it was.
Oh, is that what it was? Just a hair.
So what happened here on the screen is when you destroy the fort, we unveil the map. Of course, the icon for the fort turns green, which means it's yours. If you pull an enemy into the zone of the fort here, it will attack for you. And of course, there's going to be a bunch of side missions that are now unlocked that you access from the fort itself. I saw a question about Bart Roberts. Will Bart Roberts make a cameo? So let me allude to a fact that I gave earlier. So Bart Roberts, without saying too much, people can put it together if they want. Bart Roberts was the most successful pirate in the West Indies, in the Caribbean. So how could you possibly make a pirate game without Bart Roberts? So yes, he's in the game, and he's an awesome character. Wow, that's a massive. I couldn't even.
It was a
read that
question. That's what that was.
Will Jack Sparrow make a cameo? No, Jack Sparrow will not make a cameo. You know what? We actually wanted to stay away from the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Good.
For
a lot of reasons.
For legal reasons, but also for the fact
that it's been done and it's drilled. It's in everybody's mind now, and this is a great, unique adventure in its own.
Yeah, exactly, and I would say even, you know, just beyond that, we took it seriously that we wanted to make a gritty, incredible experience. For sure, we have fun. There's a lot of humor in the narrative. You know, I think people are gonna crack up laughing. There are certain scenes that just you can't help but smile. But we did want something that was more credible, more gritty. So no Jack Sparrow.
People asked a lot of questions about forts. Can you upgrade forts? I don't know. There were a lot of questions about it.
No, there's no upgrading of forts, but there is a location in this world. Like, I don't want to give too much. I don't want to spoil too much for the fans, but there is a location in this world that Edward is able to upgrade and take care of. And so, you know, it's a nod to the villa from AC3,
Sure.
From AC2, and the homestead from AC3, of course.
Somebody asked if you can get drunk.
Yeah. What's up, Gabe?
Can we get drunk?
Can people get drunk?
Yes, Gabe, please answer the question for us.
Oh yeah, you can get drunk. Edward can get. You can get Edward drunk.
You can get Edward. You can get Edward drunk, and I'll even add, it's you know, the more you drink, there are some really fun things that can happen. So you know what? Have fun with it. Rum was everywhere, so enjoy it.
True.
Sounds so good. People again are asking questions about the weather effects. Does it change the dynamic of your battle?
Yeah, so most definitely we wanted the weather in the ocean, specifically in the ocean, we wanted that the weather is at first a challenge, but then as you learn how to navigate it properly. So right now this is just a downpour. This is nothing big. As you learn to master what it is to be in a hurricane, your enemies are not going to be as good as you. So we actually wanted that to have an effect in the combat. Beyond that, your ship, you know, the new targeting system where it's trajectory based, the whole point is that you can shoot over waves and you can shoot over water and take the advantage there and use waves as a defensive mechanism.
Incredible.
And so yes, the water, the weather patterns, you can see that there's a major storm up ahead if Gabe goes there, but we'll let Gabe. Gabe is doing whatever he wants to do. He doesn't really listen to me.
It's a Gabe's life for him.
It's harpooning time.
Yeah, okay, why not? Let's do some harpooning. What are we harpooning here? Is it an orca? Is it a...
Yes, it's an orca.
Oh, man.
Killer whale time.
Are there sharks that we can kill? Yes, I think we've already talked about that.
Can you upgrade crew members?
Well, you can upgrade the number of crew that you have, which you mentioned earlier. Will there be female? I didn't select this. How much fun was it? How much fun was it to create this game? This has been one of the most rewarding and wonderful experiences of my career. I've been in games for 10 years, and before that, I was doing a lot of mods and modding. And this is definitely one of the greatest experiences I've ever had. It's from beginning to end. It's been a really fun, wonderful experience. And I think, you know, to me, when a developer has fun making a game, oh boy.
Yeah. That was intense.
Gabe, buddy boy.
It's a killer whale, man.
It's a killer whale. No, when a developer has fun making a game, you can feel it. You know, you can see it in the game, you can see it in the love, you can see it in the details, and I think people are gonna see that we loved this game. We had an absolute blast with it. We put a lot of love and polish into this game.
Well, it definitely shows. It's incredible. It's gorgeous.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Honestly, I love hearing that, and for our team, you know, they did a fantastic job. What is the hardest part of making
This game.
What is the hardest part of making this game? You know, a game development is actually a very difficult process. You know, one of the things that we wanted to make sure of is whatever we build, all the systems, all the features, all the worlds, if we weren't going to be able to polish it and put enough love to it, you know, either we don't do it or we put more effort onto it, which means we move effort from something else. And having this balance, having the right scope, effectively what it boils down to is scope management. Having that and doing it right is extremely difficult. Ask any game developer, they'll tell you it's one of the hardest things to figure out. And you know what, we were doing it on a daily basis. At a certain point, we were always gut checking our systems and saying, is this good enough? Can we actually finish it and polish it properly? And we were humble with ourselves when the answer was no. You know, we made the hard decisions of, okay, then we cut it. And I will tell people, in the last 6 months of this game, we did not cut a single thing because our scope was so tight. Like, we knew exactly what we were building, and we had everybody that needed to do it. And it's honestly, it's a very rare thing. And it gave us 2 months of pure polish, pure.
That's great.
You know, adding the
That's
love.
That's really awesome
Yeah.
to hear.
Will we see Connor?
A little initiative in there.
Okay, so you know, I will say there's so Edward is the grandfather of Connor, father of Hytham. You know, you don't see Connor, so figure out what that means. And as for Hytham, again, I don't want to ruin any surprises, but he is his father. Let's leave it at that. Next. Monkey Island Easter eggs. Quite possibly. Next.
And as we're sitting here, you know, we've almost already been here for an hour. We're getting close.
Has it been?
And
Wow.
let's show that
That's
swag
incredible.
cam. Let's show that swag cam right there. For you guys that are hanging out with us, being so awesome and calm and patient, at the very end, Gabe is going to go over there and do an unboxing of the Assassin's Creed Limited Edition box over there. You see the statue, which is killer.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. Even when you get in tight on it, it's really really well crafted statue. It looks absolutely gorgeous. I saw a question: Will we see Moby Dick? So I'm assuming you mean the white whale. I mean, I think we've kind of mentioned it before, so it's not really. I'm not ruining any surprises. I'm not spoiling anything. But yes, there is a Moby Dick Easter egg in the game. Let's see here. Mini games. Yes, there are quite a few mini games in the present day and in the West Indies, the Caribbean. Can you upgrade the harpooning? Yes, you can upgrade multiple things. You can upgrade the number of harpoons, the damage per harpoon, the health of your rowboat. So as you can see, Gabe at some point got hit, got attacked, and it's something you will need to upgrade. As the bigger targets, especially the white whale I just hinted at, it'll destroy you, so you need to upgrade. Far Cry 3 Easter eggs. So, you know, Far Cry 3, I mean, it's our sister team that built the game in our studio as well. So they were just, you know, they were next to us. And we actually have a lot of Far Cry developers who came to our team whenever we ramped up production. And so Far Cry 3 really inspired a lot, you know, the hunting system, the upgrades of Edward, and even the dynamic systems of you know, having content that just presents itself to the player and kind of teases you to do it. You're not forced into doing it, but it's there. And, okay, I might as well do this thing.
Yeah.
So we were heavily inspired by our own game naturally, and a lot of those guys are on our team. So you know, of course, we're gonna squeeze in an Easter egg or two.
Great. No, that's awesome.
Is Desmond dead? Did you play AC3? I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but did you play AC3? Let's put it that way.
And for anybody who's joining us right now, Ash is really talking to you, right? The questions are right here in front of him.
Yeah.
So if you want to ask a question, put question and then your question right there. And for there's only like 10 minutes left, so you guys better start asking really good questions. And the awesome people here at Ubisoft, we're gonna give you some free stuff, and he'll sign it, right, free of charge. Free of charge.
It's my pleasure.
Do you have like
Absolutely my
have
pleasure.
you been practicing that?
Yeah, I've got a nice little ash with a little squiggle.
That's
I put
awesome.
a squiggle.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm not sure people want to actually hear that as a question. Let's see here. Will there be female pirates? So there were a couple really important female pirates. We've already mentioned that we have Anne Bonny. So yes, there are female pirates in this game. Real historic female pirates, for sure. Will there be trading? We do have we have a really awesome economy system, but it's been built to be, how can I say it? It's simple in structure, but has a lot of depth.
Right.
Because we wanted people to really master. Like, we didn't want them to be confused about how it works. It's fairly easy about how it works, but then the depth of the system and how it interacts with the rest of the game and what you can do with it. There's a lot of depth there, and you need it for upgrading the Jackdaw. So it's a really important part of the game. Is it difficult to make a game in 1 year? So we took 2.5 years to build this game, not 1 year. I want to make sure that that's very clear. Yes, it's very, very difficult building a game in 1 year, and that's why we don't do it. Can you control more than one ship? That's a tough question. So the Jackdaw is your ship. It's the ship you use to go on this adventure with Edward. You upgrade it to its maximum abilities. But in the main path of the game, you actually do use other ships. We cannot tease you by showing you this massive building that's called the Man of War, and not let you drive one at some point.
Right.
So
yeah,
yes, you do get to drive other ships, and beyond that, you have the fleet that you control. And the fleets, you don't drive the ships themselves, but you can command them to go on different missions.
Are you seeing all the compliments going to you? You don't let it get your head big. There's a lot of amazing stuff being said to you.
I might tip over.
Don't tip over.
No,
so many
people. Honestly,
how great does that feel?
The fans have been really sweet.
It doesn't just go to you. That's the whole team. That's the whole team that puts this together.
And that's the thing I want to make it clear. This is a team effort. It's not a single person or just a handful of people that make a game. It's a team effort, and that's one of the hard parts of video games is that you have to build a really talented team, and you need to get the best people for the job. And honestly, I think people when they play this game, they're going to see that from the art to the audio to the game design to the levels to the systems and the features, the programming behind it all. It is phenomenal. We are so proud of this game. As Ubisoft, the company, as myself, Ash, a game developer, I'm so proud of this thing, and I love that I'm able to talk about it and to respond to our fans. And I've said it a million times, this has been a wonderful experience. Okay, the questions are flying
As they're
by.
flying by,
I'm trying,
we can go over to the swag cam because we're getting close to doing a live unboxing of what's going to happen with the a limited edition over there. Show the swag cam. Come on. Don't tease these boys.
Yeah, we got a lot of really cool stuff.
He's going to decipher some great questions. There's just been so many, right? It's just been flowing. Over there, you guys are seeing it right there. We're going to do a live unboxing. Gabe's going to mosey on over and open it up and see just what's inside this box. And Ash, this has been awesome.
Yeah, this has been a really unique experience. It's been a lot of fun. And I love the comments. I love the questions. Someone asked just now, is there a mutiny? There is, I don't want to ruin too much, but there is some form of mutiny, but it's not exactly it's not the most obvious. We wanted to have a bit of fun with mutiny, so there is something in the game.
Yeah.
Difference between PS3 and PS4 versions. I get a lot of this question about current gen versus next gen. The quick answer is obviously next gen is stunning because the hardware is just so much more powerful. On current gen, though, I will say it's the best looking Assassin's Creed on the current gen consoles that we've ever built. It's absolutely stunning. For sure, on next gen, it's more beautiful, but the more important element is that we put in a lot of features that are there for credibility, for immersion. So, for example, all the foliage has physics on it. So when it rains,
I saw that.
When there's wind, when a character interacts with it, it all reacts properly. And this was just there to make you believe in the world that much more. So the next gen stuff, the biggest difference is it's really in the immersion. There's a lot more effort put into that because on current gen the power just wasn't there for it. We've pushed the current gen consoles to their absolute limit. This is definitely shows that this is, you know, we've mastered what it is to make a game on Xbox 360 and PS3.
One good question that I saw there.
Yeah.
Somebody who's never. This happens. Somebody's never played Assassin's Creed.
What?
What? Who
No.
would have thought? And then, can they pick up this as a standalone?
Most definitely, that was a goal we have. Even though we have 4 in the title, you know, with Edward in the narrative, so in the present day, and with Edward, they start the game. Both characters start the game as noobs. You know, 2 Templars and assassins. And so the idea was for new players to be able to learn as the characters in the game are learning, and the narrative is structured that way. So most definitely, you don't need to have played the previous games. Hopefully, this game gets you excited about the lore of AC and the mythos of AC, and gets you to play the other games. But you don't need to have played them. You know, it is a standalone that does push the meta structure. But Edward's story and what you do in the present day, definitely we wanted new fans to be able to come into the franchise.
Wow. Now the questions just are a blur. They're just, thank you guys for coming in here and asking all these great questions.
Single player DLC, yes, we've already announced that there's a Freedom Cry, which is a DLC that's exclusive about Adewale, who's your first mate. And there's more to come. I can't say any more than that.